Hey loves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So first of all, I want to apologize that this video was not up on Tuesday. It wasn't up because I had some problems with my DVR, and finally when I got to watch it last night, I just didn't feel like it, and then I tried to record 3 times today and it just didn't work, so I apologize. But I am back to recap episode 2 of Young and Pregnant. So the first scene is Ashley's scene, and she's letting us know that after her argument with Bar from the previous episode, Bar did leave and go to Oakland to stay with a friend, and she was on her way to go pick him up. So they sit down at a table to have a conversation, and the first thing that Bar says is that he knows his mom is wrong, but he still wants Ashley and his mom to find a common ground, that he wants him and Ashley to work on their communication. And I agree, just because you and somebody are having an argument doesn't mean that you need to scream, doesn't mean that cuss words need to be thrown around, or you need to come at the person or say things like, I never would have got pregnant by you. You know, all of those things are hurtful. There are effective ways to have a disagreement. And Ashley basically was just like, no, I don't think we need to work on our communication. I think it's only when your mom intervenes. Yes, I believe his mom plays a big part of y'all arguments. I wouldn't be surprised if she's 98% of their arguments, but that doesn't mean the way y'all argue is acceptable. So I definitely agree with Bar in that situation. Then we see a sweeter side of Ashley. She then goes on to say that she does want Shen, who is Bar's mom, to be involved with their baby's life. And I thought that was really nice to say. And she also said that she wants Shen to understand that she's not trying to take Bar to be her son. Bar is her man. And I'm like, okay, yes. I think somebody needs to reiterate that to Shen, because it seems like not only is she very territorial, but it's kind of like a weird aspect. And I'll get to that a little bit later on, but I felt like a little weird in this episode in regards to Shen, but we'll get to that. The next clip is with Lexi. She lets us know that her and Kyler still don't have a relationship title, and then we see them sitting down discussing the fact that they don't have a name for their baby. They can't agree on a name. Kyler says that he's thrown out a lot of suggestions to Lexi, and she just pretty much dismisses it. So he goes on to say that we should just name our child McLovin or something. Now, somebody else could have said that and it would have been funny, but Kyler is really nonchalant. I don't really feel like he's present. He's present, but I don't feel like he's present, if that makes sense. In the next scene, we see that Lexi, Kyler, and Lexi's mom go over to Lexi's OB's appointment, and Lexi is having an ultrasound. We see the cutest ultrasound. Her son is sucking his thumb. I thought it was really cute to see that. My daughter never did that when she was in the womb. So then Kyler just randomly throws out there that he keeps getting texts or keep getting an invite to a safe driving course, and Lexi's mom was like, somebody needs to invite y'all to a safe sex course. And I'm like, oh. And right then and there, you know, I wouldn't have said anything else, because I know no matter what I say, her mom's gonna come for me. But basically he goes on to say, oh, I heard enough of that in health class. And she's like, okay, you heard it, but you didn't do it. And I'm like, get him, girl, get him, girl. I don't know, I just feel like he's just, again, very nonchalant in a sense. So he then goes on to ask Lexi, how many more weeks do you have? And I'm like, okay, is this the father of your child, or is this just a distant friend that you drag to the doctor's appointment with you? Like, he's just not involved. And again, I am a viewer. I don't know these people personally, so I'm trying to understand, is this how he is? Is this person, does he just not show emotion at all? Number one. Number two, is he nervous because of the cameras? Or number three, is this just how he is? Because I don't get it. I could not understand this. So Lexi tells him that she has 9 more weeks, and Lexi's mom asks him, are you ready for this? And he's like, as ready as I ever be. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on here? So the next scene is with Brianna, and we see that Danae's sister and mother comes into town to visit the both of them, and Brianna's sister is also in the scene. So I don't know if Brianna's sister lives with them or not, but she was also in the scene. Brianna shows them some cute ultrasound photos of her son, and then basically she asks Danae's mother, are you ready, or how do you feel about Danae getting ready to be a father? And or how do you feel about Danae playing the father role? And basically Danae's mother basically said that, you know, Danae was raised by his stepfather, and you know, the stepfather played the father role, so it was pretty much inevitable. It's something that happened before in life. Danae's mother also addresses him as she, and Danae told his mother, please don't forget to acknowledge me, or to use the pronouns he, him, his, you know, all the male pronouns. And his mom basically said, you know, I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to all of this. The next clip, we see that they go out for frozen yogurt, and Danae's mom asks him if he would step outside with her so they can have a conversation. The mom basically goes on to say, like, are you ready for this? Because let's be real, how many people out there really want to step up and take that role? It takes an exceptional person to say, I am going to not only be there for you, but I'm going to treat this child as my own. So honestly, I want to give a clap for Danae, because not too many people will do that. Danae's just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm ready to do this, I'm all in. And his mom basically says, you know, I feel like ever since you packed up and you moved down here, you've been stagnant, and I want you to excel in life. Come back to Chicago. And Danae said if there's not room for the three of them, aka Danae, Brianna, and the baby, he's not coming back. And I felt with that clip that he is really there for Brianna, but let's move on and I'll get back to that. So the next scene is with Kayla, and she says that she's still confused about her and Stefan's relationship title, but then we do see them go onto a baby store. And I felt like this scene, I hate to say this, but I felt like this scene overall was very childish. So they go to the baby store, and the first thing Stefan sees is a basketball hoop for little kids. Kids now, I didn't say baby, little kids. And then they go into the store, they look at a couple of things, and Kayla sees a bowling set thing for children, and she's like, she wants to get it. And yeah, pause real fast. I don't know if it's the editing, I don't know if it's just like MTV's like, we gonna play the hell out of Kayla, but I feel like from the go-karting scene and from that scene alone, and also these other scenes with Stefan, I just feel like it's been really, they made her look really childish in a sense. Like, I don't know. So she goes, they go home, and her mom asks, what'd y'all get? And they're excitingly talking about the toy, the basketball hoop, and her mom's just like, okay, did you get any newborn essentials? And I'm like, did you, sis? Because I'm waiting too. And they say, oh yeah, we got a couple of clothes and one birthing cloth. And her mom's just like, one, you know, this baby's gonna need multiple of those items. And again, I just felt like the scene was like really childish. Next we get to Jade, and it is her moving day. Her and Sean are moving into a bigger place before the baby arrives, and then she calls her mom. She hasn't really seen her mom since before the whole drug test debacle with her father, and you know, she's still very worried about her mother. So she asks her mom, hey mom, can we meet up? And her mom just sounds like, I don't feel like doing nothing today. So her mom's just like, how about tomorrow? And Jade's just like, I just want us to be closer, mom. And her mom's just like, well, you say you keep wanting to get closer, but then you keep threatening me with not seeing my grandchild. And her mom has an attitude. Her mom is completely upset. Jade basically tells her mom, like, mom, you need to get up out of bed. You need to be able to go and find a job. Considering, you know, dad just got fired, I need y'all to get it together. And from the scenes that I've seen of Jade, obviously she's 21, but you can tell that she's been very mature for some time. You can tell that she's played the parent role for some time, and I just feel so sorry for her, because now she's getting to the point where she's preparing for her child, and you want your mom there for support, and I just really feel sorry for her. Then we go back to Ashley, and she is having lunch with her friend. During this lunch, she tells her friend that Shen has been invited to the baby shower, and I'm like, here's my thing. I understand that is your boyfriend's mom, this is your daughter's grandmother, but considering everything you and this lady have gone through, and it's your first baby shower, I personally wouldn't have invited her. I know it's a little hard to say, and I know if I were in a situation it would be harder to say this, but considering how this lady is and how many things we've been through, I'm not gonna invite her. I'm just saying. Ashley basically says that she really invited Shen to the baby shower because she wants Bar to have those memories. And then we find out a little bit of the backstory of why Shen and Ashley don't get along. She said that Shen got on Facebook Live and decided to discuss Ashley and talk about her all types of ways, but also show her draws to Facebook Live. Now, if I want to put somebody on the spot or make somebody look so bad and horrible so everybody doesn't like them, the last thing I'm going to do is go pick up their drawers, whether it's with my bare hands, gloves, a 10-foot pole. I'm not picking up your drawers. I don't care how that situation goes. You look like you look like the messed up person at the end of the day. So then Ashley also said that Shin told her that she's the enemy and that the baby is part enemy. And it's just like, why are you gonna talk about, not only are you talking about my child, a innocent child that's not even into this world yet, but now you're talking about your grandchild? Come on now. That's ridiculous. And then I just have to say this again. Why invite this lady? She's nothing but drama. Like, whew, Lord Jesus. Then we go back to Lexi, and she goes maternity shopping with her mother. Once they enter in the store, her mom asks her, has Kyler bought you any maternity clothes? And before Lexi even spoke, I already knew the answer was gonna be no. Like, he don't look like he's gonna do anything that he doesn't have to do, and he doggone sure is not gonna purchase no maternity clothes. But Lexi says no, he has bought the baby some clothes. And I'm like, okay, I'll give Kyler that. He bought the baby some clothes, more than I thought, but okay. So Lexi's mom then goes on to ask what's the status of their relationship, and Lexi's just like, I don't know, like things are so up in the air, you know, I don't know. And her mom basically tells her, like, I think y'all need to basically establish what y'all are. Either you're together or you're not together, and y'all need to figure it out before the baby comes. And I agree, because there's no point of having it up in the air. When you're going through pregnancy, then you're going through labor, postpartum, and being a parent, that's already enough on its own than to be sitting here trying to figure out the status between you and your child's father. So I definitely agree with what Lexi's mom said. Lexi also says that Kyler has been very hesitant and he's uncomfortable with this whole situation. And right then and there, I felt like, dun-dun, I don't like Kyler too much this season. I'm gonna give him some time. It's only episode 2, but what are you uncomfortable with? Now, I get it. You're young. You possibly didn't expect this to happen, but the minute that somebody tells you that she tells you she's pregnant, you have time to think about it. This girl is 31 weeks pregnant. So let's just say they even found out at 8 weeks. That's pretty far along. But you've known for all of this time and you're still uncomfortable. She's the one that has to walk around with the belly. She's the one that's pregnant. She's the one that's, you know, has the child in her. What are you uncomfortable with? And I kind of feel like Lexi is like protecting Kyler. And I don't know if it's just because she's still head over heels for him, but no, he's uncomfortable. Like, and the way how I read Lexi's mom, she's not with the bullshit. She loves her daughter. She's going to support her daughter. But you can tell she wants her daughter to either work this out or nevertheless let go of Kyler, because this is too much. Next scene is with Kayla. She is with her friend and they are baking a cake or something of that sort. It didn't look like it was too tasty to them. Kayla basically tells her friend that everything has been kind of good with Stefan and that he's actually coming over in a little bit so they can set up the baby's nursery. As they go on tasting the cake and doing all that stuff, her friend's just like, okay, Kayla, where's Stefan? So she tries calling Stefan, texting Stefan repetitively, and he's just not answering the phone. So finally, when they move from the kitchen over to the living room to sit down, she gets a text from him, and he says that he actually fell asleep and his phone died. Kayla then goes on to tell her friend that, you know, it's okay if you have one or the other excuse, but 2 excuses just doesn't sound too good. And this is where I get to the point in saying this is why people cannot date repetitive cheaters. I'm not just saying cheaters, but repetitive cheaters, because once somebody is known for cheating, this person could literally be, you know, sleeping and you think otherwise because they are known for doing otherwise. So basically after that point when she says that to her friend, he goes on to send her a kissy face, and then he says, how about we do this the next another day? And I'm just like, Okay. Next scene is back with Jade, and she basically tells us that she doesn't know how her parents are going to afford to live in this extended stay hotel. Her mom doesn't work, and now her dad has been fired. So obviously, you know, that's another concern on her plate. She also says that, you know, she wishes she had normal grandparents for her child, that, you know, she had both of their support and she doesn't have to sit here and worry about her parents when she should be worrying about her pregnancy and other things that are going on. Next part is with Brianna, and this part had me like a little confused. I had to actually rewind my DVR a couple of times because I was a little bit confused. So the next scene is with Brianna, and she basically tells us that her and Danae got into an argument last night. Danae decided to go out with friends and Brianna wasn't invited, and Brianna decided to chase after the car barefooted, gets in the car, they start to drive a little bit, and then Brianna decides that she just wants to go home, so she gets out of the car, they leave her and drive off. Again, I had to rewind that a couple of times. Now, I see faults on both sides. Number one, Brianna, do you not trust Danae that much that you felt like you had to run outside? Number two, why did you feel like you had to run outside and then nevertheless barefooted to catch Danae? If Danae's gonna do something, let him go about his business and do it. And stay in the house. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. And Danae, as a boyfriend, you want to be trusted with this girl or to take care of her and her child. You left your pregnant girlfriend in the middle of the street. You couldn't tell your friend, if you weren't the one driving, to turn around to make sure she got home well. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all can argue or do whatever later. Secondly, it didn't sound like Danae even checked up on Brianna to see if she got home. It just sounded like dropped her off and then went about her business. I just felt like, why did that even need to happen? So Brianna meets up sitting outside with her mom, and her mom's upset, which I feel like she had every right to be. And her mom's just like, how am I supposed to trust y'all in a relationship or trust that Danae can take care of you? Which is why I'm trying to understand why people feel like Danae needs to take care of Brianna. I'm just a little confused about that. I don't care if he's the man in the role. These are still young adults. Like, why? Anyways, Brianna doesn't really say much, but her mom is genuinely upset about it. So Danae comes outside and the mom's trying to talk to Danae, and in my opinion, I didn't really feel like Brianna's mom attacked him. I didn't feel like she was just like, I don't feel like she did any of that. I feel like she was getting ready to lay on her concerns, and Danae's just like, well, it's too early in the morning. I don't want first thing when I wake up in the morning to argue, and walks away. Danae then leaves and calls his mother. And the mother sounds pretty preoccupied at work, but Danae tries to talk to her, and explain what's going on. And the one thing Danae's mom said was, Brianna's mom needs to just get out of y'all business. And it's just like, it's not like Brianna and Danae live on their own and they're minding their own business. All of this is happening underneath her roof, and most importantly, this is her 17-year-old child that is I think she's 18, 17 or 18-year-old child that's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming in the house at 11 o'clock and you're barefoot and I'm gonna be like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. So I do feel like Brianna's mom did have a right to say something. In the next scene, Kayla's still with her friend, and she tells us that she still hasn't heard too much about Stefan. Then we see that Stefan is playing basketball with his friends, and his friend goes on to say, did y'all ever think that Stefan was going to be the first to have kids? They all laugh, and Stefan was just like, I didn't expect anything like that, but he is going to be my best friend. Whenever you see me, you will see my son. And from the sounds of it, even from that comment that he made and the comment that he said in the first episode that he's always going to be there for his son, it sounds like Stefan has the right ideas. I hope eventually this plays out right. He does want to be there for his son, but it does not sound that it doesn't sound like he wants to be with Kayla at all, in my opinion. But as we can see, he's clearly stringing her along. So basically the friend asks, how's things going with Kayla? And he's like, he's very annoyed by her. Every time they have an argument, she brings up the fact that he's cheated. Sir, because y'all relationship is based off of that. You have constantly cheated on this poor girl. What do you expect? I just felt like that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life right then and there. And basically the friend says, do you want to be with Kayla? And he said no. I just want to work, get money, and have fun. I felt like that sentence alone was very immature because a few minutes ago we saw you sending her kissy faces. Stop stringing her along. It just sounds like, from the sounds of it, it sounds like Stefan just wants to have Kayla in a corner. So whenever he wants to have fun with Kayla and be with her and hang out, he'll do it. But he wants to go out, do his own thing. And then when people say, are you with Kayla? Nah, I ain't with her. I'm sorry, I cannot with him either. In the next scene, we're back at Lexi, and she tells us that Kyler gave her a ring, and a promise ring, and even when they're not together, she always wears it. Then she has a conversation with Kyler and asks what's the status of their relationship, and Kyler says, I just want to have fun. And he basically says that whenever he's in a relationship with Lexi, he doesn't get to hang out with his friends. She's very clingy, and she doesn't allow him to do anything. And in my opinion, I feel like maybe there just needs to be a common ground between them. If he wants to hang out with his friends, they need to separate themselves and still have time for friends, but still have enough time for one another. Then we go back to Jade, and she's having a conversation with her grandma. Jade's grandma tells us that she made she asked Jade's mom to take a drug test, and her mom did pass it, and I was very happy to hear that her mom has passed the drug test. Then we go back to a scene with Ashley, and she's getting ready for the baby shower. I will say that her whole baby shower looked absolutely beautiful, from the decorations to her dress, her makeup, her hair. I felt like she looked absolutely gorgeous. So once the baby shower has started, we see that Shen arrives, and what I took from this whole scene with Shen, she is one of those people that wants to be heard, wants to be seen, and you gonna listen to what she gonna say. And I'm just like, she's very present. There's no other way to put it. So I like the fact that Shen did come over to Ashley and acknowledge Ashley and told her that she looks very nice. I don't know if she said nice, pretty, beautiful, one of the two. And I like the fact that she did that, because she could have been Petty Betty, walked in there and didn't even have to talk to Ashley. But she did that, and Ashley said thank you. So it looked like they were going to be cordial. Anyways, let's move on to the whole game situation. So they're starting to play games, and somebody by the name of Monique is hosting the games. So first game that they're playing is, I think, pass the present. So they have to pass the present to the person with the biggest purse. And Shen just happens to be that person, and she goes off. It's me, it's me. She's like, I got the biggest purse. Ain't nobody in here got the biggest purse. Just saying all these different things to reiterate that she has the biggest purse. Then she talks about, I hope I don't have to empty my purse because y'all don't want to see what's. I'm just like, okay, lady, you have the biggest purse. Like, we got it. So then the next game, we hear that the lady Monique addresses Bar and Ashley as Ashley and her significant other, and I felt it was a little bit rude. I do feel like the lady could have asked Bar what was his name really fast, or she could have just said mommy and daddy. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't remember his name and you didn't want to turn around and ask him for his name, I would have just said the lovely parents, the parents to be, mommy and daddy. But by saying Ashley and her significant other, it just sounded like an automatic problem to me. Maybe I'm hearing things wrong, but I didn't feel like it was right. So Shen is just like, significant other, like, what's wrong with his name? And I'm like, yeah, Shen, what is wrong with his name? I don't understand either. So Ashley sees Shen, and she's just like, go get your mother, tell your mother not be petty. Bar walks over to Shen and is just like, do not be petty, and he keeps saying it, and then she's just like, okay, Bar. And I'm like, yes, I would have said the same thing. I definitely would have said his name a little bit louder, but I don't really feel like she was being petty. Maybe something would have popped off further if he didn't walk to her, but I genuinely didn't feel like anything was wrong. So after the whole significant other situation and Bar telling his mom to not be petty, basically we see how Ashley and Shen are taking photos. I'm sorry, Ashley and Bar are taking photos, and Shen is walking over to Bar and says, hey son, with your fine ass. I'm like, okay, this goes right back to the beginning part where Ashley says that she wants Shen to understand that she's his girlfriend, not his mother. Certain comments, I just feel like are borderline what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like that was weird when she said it. Clearly we see she has a lot of love for her son, but that was too much. Shen walks up to them. Bar's in the middle. Ashley's on this side of Bar, and Shen is on this side. And the minute Shen gets over on this side of Bar, Ashley walks away and steps out of the photo frame, but steps away a little like aggressively. And Shen basically says, you keep telling me to not be petty. You need to get her. Stop coming at me and you need to get her. And I'm like, okay, here's my thing. I understand you don't want to take photos with the lady, but there's ways to like say, all right, I'm just going to step out, or let me get a picture of you and Shen instead, or you and Bar instead. I just felt like Ashley pretty much is a ticking time bomb up until they get to the last scene. I just felt like that's another thing that just could have been easily avoided. Let me get back to Kayla, who basically tells us that she got a call from a friend, and I just want to know, who's this friend? Is this the same friend with the whole Snapchat scandal thing last time? Who is it? But the friend basically tells her that she spots Stefan out with the same girl he just cheated on Kayla with, and she says she rolls up to the spot, makes a scene, tells him about himself, and tells him she's done with him. And I'm just like, I hope you're really done with him, because clearly I think it's been proven, if we've only seen Stefan in 2 episodes, that he's not gonna change. We've seen this man in 2 episodes and we already know of him cheating 2 times. Like, there has to be an end to it, and I'm happy that she told him she was done. You know what I'm saying? So she's telling her friend the situation, and all of a sudden Stefan pops up in her house. It looks like he goes from the door to a room or something, then he goes into the garage, and Kayla's trying to see, like, what is he doing? I want to know why he has so much access to her house, or why he's so comfortable, but whatever. So she goes up to see what he's doing. He's like, don't talk to me. Very aggressive. He was like, you don't care about me, right? And I'm like, Stefan is definitely one of those guys that are master manipulators. These are the guys that claim that want to be with you but don't want to be with you. Go on and touch and kiss and feel on every female out there. Do what they do. When you find out, one, they either try to make you feel bad for even thinking that you can say something to them, or 2, they play the crybaby role, like, I didn't mean it, I don't know what's wrong with me. And at that point, I'm just like, I'm done. I cannot deal with this anymore. So Kayla basically says to her friend, like, I would yell, I would cuss him out, but I've already done that. What's the point? You know, I'm not gonna keep stressing myself out. And I felt like, yes, Kayla, please look mature. You're doing the doggone thing. So then she gets on the couch and she basically cries a little bit to her friend. But it didn't seem like a real cry. It seemed like I done cried about this so many doggone times. Why do I keep on crying? And I feel sorry for her, because you can clearly tell she's head over heels for this guy, because who would keep going through something like this? But she has to let him go. And one thing I will say is, I don't know if they're still together right now. When she gets over him, her glow up is going to be something serious, and her blessing is waiting. I definitely see that definitely happening. In the last scene, the scene we've been waiting for since the 5 seconds into Ashley's first clip, is the baby shower drama. So Shen's deciding that she's getting ready to leave, and she's like, I'm gonna go say bye to Holly, who is the baby that Ashley's pregnant with. Now, I didn't see Shen's placement. I don't know if she touched Ashley or not. I do know her hands were up in a sense, and she was just like, bye Holly, and Ashley aggressively moves away. Now, if Shen was touching her, I can understand that, but then again, I still would have moved away like that. And I mean, I understand that there's beef, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like if it was me, I would let somebody touch my stomach. So again, I don't know about Shen's placement, but Shen was upset about it, and I don't blame her. So Bar tries to take her outside to tell her how he feels about this situation, and she's talking as she leaves, but I don't really hear her call Ashley the B word. Again, I could have missed it. And Bar tells his mom, that was rude. I'm not even gonna lie, that was very rude, and I apologize. And she's like, yeah, like, you invited me here, I've been cordial, and there's been a problem the whole time. Like, I don't understand. And I will say, from the clips that we did see, I do believe Shen came and she was on what we would say her best behavior. I don't really feel like she did anything to act out of character. Again, she came to this baby shower, she was loud about certain situations, but I don't really feel like she came and she was just overly disrespectful, or she came with unnecessary amount of people. She came in, she greeted this girl, she complimented her at that, And you can tell that she was trying to play somewhat of the grandma role, but Ashley just wasn't having it. So as Bar and Shen leaves, Ashley tells her mom, Pastor T, she called me a B. And I'm like, I didn't hear anything. Tell me down below you heard something. I did not hear anything. And of course, Pastor T, being a mother, is going to go defend her child. So she goes outside and she says to Shen, why come here with all this drama? Obviously, words were exchanged. Shen was loud, but explaining that she didn't do anything. Bar's hopping in. You're not going to talk about my mama. Shen's friend is in it. All of Ashley's people are in it. Finally, I do hear the word biatch thrown out. Ashley throws it. Shen throws it. Shen eventually leaves and gives everybody the middle finger. And Bar is left there to defend the whole situation. And I kind of feel like, you know, her mom was just like, go take a walk. Go take a walk. Ashley's sister's like, go, go, go. And I'm just like, I feel bad for him. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I still don't like the fact that he called Ashley a weak AB, but I feel sorry for him in this situation. The moment y'all decided that this lady was coming to the baby shower, you should have already known. And I felt like Ashley's guard was already up. Like, literally, this lady could have sneezed and she would have been like, what you say? You get what I'm saying? I just felt like, A, don't invite her. B, invite her and be cordial as hell back, because this is your one and only first baby shower. Now you will always have that memory of drama going on, not only in your mind, but it's on TV now. And that actually took over the fact that we're here to celebrate the baby. Anyways, I felt like this episode was whoosh, compared to the first one, where we just got to meet the girls and didn't really get to know the situations. I'm done with Kyler, and I'm way done with Stefan past this point. Let me know your opinions down below, and I will see y'all next week for the next episode. Bye, y'all.